Welcome to the Paladin video of Software Collective. My name is Ilya. I will be your speaker for this first Paladin video. So, the topic of our video will be whether or not you should start a software career in 2023. Spoiler alert, yes, you do. And what prerequisites may be for it and what steps you may need to take in order to go onto this journey. So, starting with the prerequisites. I see a couple of main prerequisites needed in order to be a successful software engineer. They mostly are going to be around your character and around your life circumstances. So, for starters, you should be a person that can endure solitude. So in software engineering, there are times where you may need to be concentrated on one thing. You need to be able to stay focused and do your job. And profession in general is not about communicating with people that much, although you must be able to communicate with people clearly. But there will be times where you need to just sit down and digest everything, sort it out together, and get things done. So if you can't imagine spending 3-4 hours just by yourself without talking to anyone, probably you will have a bit of a hard time joining this circle. So next on the list is ability to self-educate. I see it as the most crucial part of software developer. This industry is very rapid. New technologies pop up here and there, and there won't be always people to educate you. Courses good enough for you to spend your time on. You will actually spend a lot of time finding these courses, but if you are great in self-education, you can just teach yourself. So, when working in the company, you will usually receive tasks you have no idea how to complete initially, but it will be your job to figure out it along the way. And the senior you go, the larger parts of things will require your decision making. Even when you don't know how to do it, you will be relying on your experience and ability to self-educate. Next up is probably age. So it may be a bit controversial, but I think you should be young to learn such skills as programming, because the older you get, the harder it is to teach yourself new tricks. Even me, I'm 26 years old and I'm struggling to learn new technologies. It's not like I really do have a trouble, but I remember myself starting my career at 18 years old, and I was learning things on the go. It was really simple, and I don't have the same feeling now. So I always need to spend time digging through documentation, testing theories, and it's bogged down. Maybe it's a bit due to the experience as well, because I know things I should be learning. So essentially, when I start a new language, I already think about what I need to learn to be able to do some common tasks. But nevertheless, I think if you are over 30 years old, starting as a software engineer will be hard undertaking. Next important skill is that you should be good with math. You shouldn't be like have a degree in mathematics, although I will come back to degree later. But you will need to solve tasks which sometimes require mathematical thinking, problem solving skills, and so on. So if you are a person who hated mathematics during your school years, probably you should consider that you will be needed to demonstrate same skills that mathematics class required you to. So if you don't like it, then you probably should not take it. So about the learning process, I think you should make it your full-time job. So if you decide you want to become a software engineer, make yourself a schedule, select days, select time when you are studying, and select weekends. You shouldn't study more than 40 hours a week. It will be strenuous. You increase chances that you will drop it, and overall you may feel overwhelmed, and so on and so forth. So yeah, stick to your schedule, and it should be good enough. So where does one start? There is a question about a computer science degree or other information technology related degrees, and whether or not should you study in university to get into software development career. So the answer is it depends. It depends whether or not you can afford it right now, whether or not your current life situation can afford you spending 4 or 6 years in the university. Can you pay for this degree if you are required to pay for it? And can you actually live off while studying? Overall, I think a degree gets you really great knowledge, but you will need to think about how you will apply it in your life. The most career choices that will get impacted by your degree are probably artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, so like everything around analytics, uh, anything related to signal processing. These hard subjects will get greatly covered in the university, and just reading some random articles in the internet will get you less than studying for this particular fields. Other fields will also benefit from the university, although not so greatly. So how would I structure my self-education, or even maybe education while you're at the university? So I've been a part of competitive programming team, and I find competitive programming a really great entertainment hobby, and a way to propel yourself into this field, because it teaches you a lot of things you will be required to do in your actual job. So I would greatly recommend you to start on some competitive programming website and do about maybe up to 100 different tasks and problem solving puzzles there. I will put a couple of links in the description. This will be primarily code forces, and I would suggest you go for different topics on your tasks. So why competitive programming? And actually such companies as Amazon, Google, and Allfang are really liking this approach. Like on their coding interviews, you will be required to solve tasks which are part of competitive programming. So what benefits does it bring? Because like these companies like it, and I recommend it. So first off, it will be teamwork. Usually competitive programming is done in teams of 3, so you will get a chance to work together as a team from the get-go. Secondly, it actually supercharges your brain to solve problems. You will require to think really hard. Some may say that it requires you just knowing algorithm, but that's not totally how it works. I've I've deduced solutions to the problems even when I didn't know that such approach has a name. So, like, I'm a super inventor, you may say. But yeah, so it's a trivial when you know it, but actually, with right knowledge, you can do it too. So, next up, you will be prepared to analyze what's written or said to you. What do I mean by that? So, tasks are usually masked by some example, by some description. And in your actual job, you will actually get same descriptions. Your client will come to you, he will say some gibberish, and you will need to figure out a way to make a technical specifications based on that. And I would say most of the tasks on the problem solving on competitive programming websites are structured even better than what would you get from your actual clients, or even maybe inside your company you will like get tasks from more senior engineers, and they may not spend so much time working through it as deeply. So you may get tasks which will need either clarification or for you to think about them. So next up will be, of course, that in competitive programming there is a test suite for your solution, and this test suite is not public. So you don't know how it will be tested, but it will be tested according to the specifications set in the description. So it requires you, when you think you got the solution right, it requires you to think through all the test cases that may happen, that may impact you, and you will just try your program on these set test cases. So, for example, basic test cases will involve passing a really large number. If we are talking about working with arrays, passing a really large elements up to the high point you have in your task description. Passing null, passing negative values, all other things that may happen to a program, you should think through them. And this is a really great skill in development, because you will need to either clarify edge cases with your superiors, or if you have great solutions which account for them, you should just implement them. Although they should not take much time, but on that later. So yeah, overall competitive programming brings a lot of value to the table, and I would suggest you, if you are new to development, start off with 100 tasks on competitive programming website. Continuing on, other thing you may consider is taking maybe a look at some of the books. I will link them in the description. They will be data structures and algorithms made easy, and also for dummies series of books on the language of your choice. This is a great place to start, in my opinion. You can also watch CS50 Harvard course on YouTube. It's publicly available. You may consider taking courses, although I would be careful there, because you're not sure what value could this course bring to you. And as I said, I think you will still be required to educate yourself along the way. So if you need courses to get every new skill in your life, you will be hard pressed in the future. You will spend a lot of time finding this course, and maybe even disappointed when you take a lot of them. Some of them may appear not so great choices. But if they provide, first of all, in terms of IT industry, an opportunity to try yourself in different fields, and there are a lot of fields in IT, analytics, QA, backend engineering, front-end engineering, databases, machine learning, computer vision, other artificial intelligence things, mobile development, game development, DevOps. There are a lot of fields, and if course provides an opportunity for you to try this all out, maybe you should consider it just for this opportunity. Also, if course provides certifications, this may be also a great choice, but you need to make your research and understand who will actually be interested in such certification, whether or not it's actually worth it. So one should also not neglect your soft skills as well as hard skills. For hard skills, I think you should meet some basic threshold. By basic threshold, I would consider knowing one language, knowing Git, and that's it. This is generally enough for you to get into internship opportunity, and I think you should agree to any internship opportunity which pays. It's not a matter of whether or not it's much or not much in terms of money. In your internship, you should be looking for a great boss. This should be great educational opportunity for you. Like my first job paid me $100 a month, but I did have a great boss who helped me to learn a lot of new stuff. So yeah, I would choose primarily on boss, and working for 1 year for little money is actually okay in my opinion. But you should not agree to non-paid internships. I think it's not the right way for a company to treat its workers, even if it's temporary workers. Thank you for your time. I hope to see you on the next video. Please subscribe